Hi, welcome to Carrie Creates Cards. Today I'm going to be using some Distress Oxide inks and I'm going to be stamping over them with the lovely Lavinia Stamps. I'm going to be using some embossing powder and some VersaMark ink. It's a card that I had made a few years ago that I liked and I wanted to recreate it. So I hope you enjoy watching. If you do, please like and subscribe. Hi, I'm going to be working with this new stamp, Rue. I have used it only once before, but thought it was very pretty. And the mini mushrooms. And I'm going to be doing some heat embossing. So I'm going to do my background with the Distress Oxides and considering using Walnut Stain, broken china and faded jeans. And I'm just going to go ahead. This is my 8x8 card base and I've cut this piece out just slightly smaller than that, and I'm going to do my ink background on that. So I'm coming in with my faded jeans and I'm going to just start inking the top of that cardstock with that. So I'm going to ensure that this background is dry. It's very important because otherwise the embossing powder will stick everywhere, which I've learned previously from experience. So I'm just going to come in with my heat gun and just give that a quick run around to make sure that it's dry. So I just came in now with my stamping platform and I'm going to pop my piece of card into the corner here. And I'm going to come in with this beautiful Lavinia stamp called Rue. So I'm going to pop Rue down here where I want her. And pick her up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with this little anti-static. It's like a powder. And I'm going to pop it down here where I'm stamping. So as the embossing powder will only go where I want it. And I'm going to come in with my VersaMark ink and going to ink up Rue with that. So let's have a look. Yeah, that seems to have inked up very well. So I'm going to come in now with this, it's a seafoam white by Papermania. It's an embossing powder. And I'm going to place that over the inked up image. Yeah, that looks quite good. Just going to pop that back into the container. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my background. So I got this little mushroom stamp by Lavinia, little mini mushroom. And I'm going to pop that onto a little acrylic block. And I also have this little grass kind of a stamp, and I'm going to also pop that onto an acrylic block. So I'm going to ink that up with the VersaMark. And I'm going to pop it down here and there along the bottom of the picture. Bit up the edges there as well. I'm going to come and pop some of the mushroom down also. Hope I haven't doubled up on them. It's hard to see where they are. Just kind of winging it now at this stage, if I'm honest. Yeah, I can see that. I might just pop a second generation one down here and there, although I don't know if that's going to work with the embossing powder. But anyway, just come back in now with my embossing powder and run it over that. Oops. So just clean that up, and I'm coming back in now. There's a couple of little bits that I don't want there, so I'm just going to remove them before I heat it, because once it's heated it will be set. So I'm going to come in now with my heat gun, and I'm going to activate the embossing powder. So I'm just going to heat that up for a few minutes first. So there we have it. It's all nicely embossed. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in and I'm going to work on the top of my picture. So for that, I have another stamp here and I'll have to use the larger block. Just going to come in, ink that up with the VersaMark. Pop that down. It's a beautiful sunny day here today. We've had some really nice weather this week. It was St. Patrick's Day on Thursday and we had a gorgeous day. It was great to get the good weather after the last couple of years not being able to have any parades. So I think everybody enjoyed it. It was great to see all the kids out and enjoying the sunshine. It was beautiful. So hopefully we'll get lots more of that. It's as well needed at this stage. There's been so much doom and gloom. Yeah, I think that should do it. Put my lid back onto the VersaMark. I'm going to come back in now with my embossing powder. And again, I'm using the white. It's sort of a replica of a card that I made a couple of years back that I loved. And for some reason I haven't made it since, so I just thought, give it a go today. Obviously roux wasn't in the first one because I didn't have roux then. Can't remember which fairy I used. It was definitely one of Lavinia's fairy stamps. So there we go. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put that onto my card base. See if I might mount something around it just to make it pop a bit more. I've decided I'm going to come in with the Versafine Clair in Twilight and I'm just going to go around the edges just to darken the outside a little bit. Just to frame the image. Draw your eyes to the center of the picture. If you've watched me before, I'm sure you know that I like to do this. It won't take where the embossing ink is, but I can come back and rub that afterwards. I purchased a few new brushes on Amazon. They were only cheap ones, but I have to say they seem to be working quite well, quite easy to use. Excuse me. Just darken it up a little bit more. The darker, the better. So I think that that's fine. Just going to come in and wipe that off. And with a clean tissue and just go around the embossed pieces. As you can see, it'll just lift the ink off it there, but it will stay on the cardstock behind, which is what I want. So it just makes the white pop out again. So I'm going to come back in with my card base now, and I'm going to pop that down on it. So that's my card base, and because there's a bit of warping on this, I don't want to just pop that down the normal way. I'm going to use this fairly thick double-sided tape. So I'm just going to pop that down and try to cover as much of the back of the card that I can, because if the whole thing is adhered, it just prevents that warping on the card base, which is what I'm aiming for. Just pick that up. there are a couple of pieces that I might just come in with a thinner piece along the edge here. I know it seems excessive, but it really is worth it. You put a lot of work into your artwork, and you don't want the final thing you do to destroy it. So I'm just going to pop that down now. Try to get a little bit of the white all around the edge to frame it. Be a nice contrast. And there we go. So I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. You could come in and put a little sentiment on it if you want to send it to someone for an occasion. Or you could just send it as a gift. Maybe they might like to frame it afterwards. Just come in a bit closer so that you can see it up close. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, please like and subscribe, and thank you.